Foot like Abdi, Danny Boy here, and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. It is episode 210, so it's time to do a drive-by, and it's basically, it won't be back to the future, it'll be back to the present, because we're going to go up to 2021. So first of all, we need to set, I like the date speed at 2, for some reason. I think 2 is just, is better, but we're going to jump on our brand new train, our Conmat Milford Haven to Bristol. Now there is some waiting here, which is nice, 181, so it's not going to be a full load because these containers, these flatbeds actually do take quite a large amount of stuff, but we've got some cool containers on them. Yep, Hamburg Southern, Samskip. What else? We've got a Freightliner Stobart rail, that's pretty cool. A generic white. What else? I think we're actually going to fill this thing up. Yeah, Stobart rail. Wait, what did you get? 188. So almost a full load. Now we need to jump on board. Now there should be many trains to pass here, although as we've seen presently, my luck is not that great, so what might actually be devoid of life on the tracks. But I see another truck coming. There's nothing else in the station. No, all the combat stuff is gone, and I was waiting to say we're currently stuck waiting at a red light, but we should be okay. There's a passenger train arriving on the right hand side. There's a coal train coming in. Looks like a Great Western Railways number, possibly on the right hand side. As perfect timing, the bridge is obscuring it. Yeah, it's a Great Western Railways. You can see the green. We've got a coal train rolling in, a really slow coal train, even though there's 3 of them. It's probably waiting, I would imagine it's slowing down to stop to let this train come in. It is. Good for you, well done. So we're heading up. We have to pass through Swansea, Cardiff, round sort of underneath Bristol, and arrive at the freight station at the other side. I am really happy that this has decided to drop goods for us straight away. That means it works. If I actually leave the game running, so right now we're like minus $330 odd million that we're currently losing, but it does go up. If I go into the line profit page, we are actually making more money than we are spending, which is pretty amazing because I've been placing these trains and lines and trucks and planes and boats and whatnot really like haphazardly. They're basically just on here for show, roughly in areas where the trains might run. My knowledge of, oh right, there's another Great Western, so those 2 are spaced out terribly, basically one behind the other, unfortunately, but hey ho. But yeah, so we are actually making money. If I was to leave this for a couple of hours, we'd probably get some of that back, but I think it would take quite a long time to get us back up to profit again. I think I'd have to leave it for about half a day or something to get all those profits back, but it would actually eventually get there, which is nice. So we're rolling out. That was another coal train on the left hand side, or was it a China clay train? I did not actually notice, but yeah, the Great Westerns there are spaced out poorly. It looks like it's becoming Lag City as we come into Swansea. Now Swansea's not one of the biggest towns on the map, so I'd expect frame rate to be not too bad. It could possibly be because Cardiff is just round the corner, but it is really laggy here. Let's try and look at something else. Let's look at this coal train. There we go. Frame's almost sorted. Don't know why it's so laggy here, but we've only got like 10 episodes left to go. I'm kind of happy about that. I'm sad that the series is ending, but I'm happy because we can move on. Well, partially move on, because I don't have the new rig set up yet. The only thing I need is a GPU, a graphics card. So sort of hunting for a 3080, but I've sort of limited my 3080 hunt because the PC build that I've got is basically all white. It uses a lot of the white edition Asus ROG stuff. It's a Cooler Master TD500 mesh white case, and there are only really two white 3080s on the market. Well, there's actually only one. There's the Gigabyte Vision OC in white, which looks really nice. That's what I was hunting for first. There is a Asus 3080 ROG Strix white edition that seems to be imaginary at the moment. I have seen on PC Part Picker that it has gone up for sale in Canada, and there are a few other places you can sort of get a hold of it, China, Japan. I seen there were places in India that had them available, but there's the US had some as well. They went out of stock pretty quick. There were some in Germany, but there's absolutely zero retailers in the UK that currently have stock or know if they're ever going to get stock of the white edition Strix 3080. So I think the best bet would be to go for the Gigabyte. I think that might be my sort of best option. But I don't want to start a new series of Transport Fever without having the new computer built, because I've got a plan for the next series. It's going to be something pretty wild. I'm not sure how it's going to work. If it's going to work, I've sort of been testing it out, looking at different maps and whatnot. So if it works, it's going to be something really cool. There might be some teething or difficulties early doors with how things are going to work. I need to sort of do a lot of mod management and only sort of install or use mods that I am actually going to use. Because flooding the game with mods, like especially in this, I should be getting rid of or removing mods from the save game instead of just kept them, and having a ridiculous amount of mods does kill frame rate, even though they make the game a million times better. But yeah, a friend of mine did say to take the GTX 1080 Ti that I have in my current rig out and put it in the new one, sort of temporarily, to get the new series started, if I had not acquired a new GPU in time. The problem is with that, I want to sort of do all my new stuff on the new rig in sort of 4K. It's well capable of handling that. Even the 1080 that I've got just now does 4K just fine, albeit only at 30 frames per second. It does 2K really well. I'm currently playing this on 2K now. I made a compromise between 4K and 1080 and went for 2K, but I'm not rendering or uploading the videos to YouTube at 2K, because even though the 1080 will render 2K and 4K just fine, it takes a very, 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 very long time. So that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, all the new stuff is going to be on the new computer, and I want it to be like sort of high quality, etc., etc. So I'm kind of scared. Kind of scared that we're going to run out of Transport Fever 2 episodes before I've got the GPU and the everything I need on it, because there's a lot of work that I'm sort of putting into this new series, and I'm looking forward to getting it started. We're just sort of on a crunch deadline, really, but I don't want to rush it and screw it up. I want it to be something cool. So we're currently waiting, currently hunting the world's markets for a 3080. I mean, you get people, it's like, oh no, don't buy anything from the USA or Canada, you get hit by tax. as soon as it comes into the country, blah blah blah. It's really hard to return a broken part as well to somewhere that's so far away. Excuse me, but sometimes you just have to bite the proverbial bullet and hope for the best. I mean, I have in the past bought computer components from other parts of the world. Luckily, they've worked out fine. I've had no issues with them, no need to return them. And basically, the only reason they've sort of died is with days, years, months of endless use. They've basically just been destroyed under sort of heavy load. So that's something you can sort of send back and say, hey, this is broken. It's like, yeah, but you bought this 6 years ago and it's been well used. The fans in the GPU are melted. It's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But everything I've bought from sort of abroad or imported in has worked just fine. Now, obviously that's a big step with a 3080. They are not cheap, not by a long shot. I mean, most of the reports I've heard is that one of my friend, actually, he has his own IT business, and he got like 5 3090s. That he got a couple from Canada and he got a couple from the US, and he needed it for his business because he does like design and graphic design and stuff. So I'm not actually sure what he does. For ages I thought he was just an IT dude, but he does like commercial design and stuff. So he does a lot of 3D work and rendering, etc. So he needs the GPUs. I mean, as he said, he would have been fine. He had 2080 Ti's and 2080 Supers previously, and he was like, they worked just great for what he needed to do. But the 3080s, 90s, 70s, etc. just add a bit more higher workload and speed into the mix. So he's really happy that they got them. But he had no issues with the 5 that he got. He did get stung by the tax man on its way in, but because it's for a business, I think he just read it off as like a business expense, a much needed entity, part, whatever you want to call it. And I suppose so much businesses in the UK are going under nowadays. I think the government are scared of doing anything that sort of hinder businesses, especially self-employed businesses and whatnot. Because lots of businesses in the food and drink, entertainment industry, oil and gas, whatnot, there's lots of industries that are getting hit hard with the pandemic. So much people losing jobs. It's a shame. So I've been through that. I've had my stint, but I had a good run. I worked offshore and abroad for about 12 years. So actually more than that, 13, 14 years. So I've been a lot of places, seen it, done it. I wasn't too bothered when we found out that our department was being closed. But hey ho. Now I'm just having fun, actually. I really enjoy recording these. Even though this is just now like a total lag fest. Now, I will apologise for this. I was really contemplating ending the series and being like, right, it's toast. It's so laggy now. It's almost at the point of beyond playability. But then I kind of thought, well, there's a lot of people who have watched this from the beginning or are invested in it. They've pretty much watched every episode and followed it all the way through, and it's not fair to them to sort of go, oh well, we're just cancelling it there. We'll play it on till the end. So there's a lot of mods and stuff to showcase, even from now, from 2015 to 2021. So it's nice to give them their chance in the limelight. There's lots of other creators as well that often do this. I know it's I think it's Construction Gamer. He does like a mod Spotlight, which is really good. So if you're ever wondering about UK mods or things, you should check him out. He does sort of shorter videos when things come on the Steam Workshop, and he gets them rolling so you can see the liveries, how they work and stuff, which is really good. So I've watched him many times to to sort of see how mods sort of fare, how they look like. But yeah, it's good. It's good to get the mods out. But we are going to be finishing this soon, and I am half happy and half sad. And about 100% scared because I don't have the new computer. I will be able to fill it with other series. There are other things I can play. Some games don't even have 4K graphics integrated into them yet, so that's something I can do in the old rig, and I want to use the old rig as sort of editing as well. Maybe if I do a bit of streaming, it'll be nice because I will have a 2 system setup. One for playing games, one for the stream PC, is as you will. Now, where are we? 2016. Very nice. 71 new vehicles. The Hong Kong CTB. Okay, we've got Hong Kong buses in here. They're not supposed to be in there. See, that's a mod that's been added because I thought, hey, that looks cool, and I might get away with placing it on a UK map. But it's ultimately futile because I'll probably never use it, and it would look stupid if I did. If I did. Right, I want to jump on one of my DRS trains, preferably the new one that goes round the coast to Bangor and Manchester. I have no idea where this train is. In fact, who are you? You are something. Okay, that's the DVT. Yay, it's right here. Okay, so we'll follow this train. It does follow it at the DVT side. That's not a problem. We're happy to follow it at that side. At least we know we are following this train here. Right, you're currently waiting on the bridge for a slot. Now, I'm a bit apprehensive about jumping on this train. Once it reaches the other end of Bangor, it may possibly get stuck. Possibly. There's a lot of trains that are rolling towards Manchester, Liverpool sort of direction. Why can you not go? Wait for a free path. I would imagine, yeah, it's waiting for this train to go in. Will we jump on this train? I don't think I have jumped on this train previously. Okay, we'll jump on this train. This train goes from, well, basically wait, hold on. Excuse me. Oh, you're waiting for a free path because you're going up the hill. Okay, we'll jump on you then. Oh no, that's bad. That means there's a train in front. Possibly. There we go. There's a little old school Arriva train rolling in. So what's in front of you? What can possibly be in front of this? The other Arriva train that heads to Bangor? It possibly could be a freight train that is absolutely miles away. In fact, I think it is because there are no signals on this junction. Alas, it has made it. There we go, and then it crosses over to the far left. Clipping through the tunnels there. Nice. And then over the bridge, and then we should get a beautiful view of, almost a beautiful view. I'm sure there will be one later. Right, where are all the trains? Right, there's a freight train up ahead. I think we were possibly waiting for that to clear the junction before we could go. I think that was possibly a thing. It does look like there is a severe lack of semaphores on this section of track. Yeah, there's one up here, and I think we're going to have to stop because the freight train in front just ain't going fast enough. It's not as laggy at this side, which is nice. Probably because there's nothing here. It's devoid of scenery and whatnot. There's like areas of this map that have trees, and then areas that are just devoid of trees. And that's something I want to fix in the next map. I want it to look not just pure grass or have the mountains be like weird and stuff. I actually want it to look quite nice. So I am sort of playing around with maps to have a look. Right. Like I said, the plan I've got for the next series is gonna be big. And even if I don't have the new rig set up, it will give me time to flesh out what I need to do for the next series. And then I'll leave a little teaser video, a little trailer video of what I am actually planning to do. Because I love Transport Fever, it will always have a place on this channel. There's lots and lots you can do, but I think the next series I'm hoping to make a sort of a be-all and end-all for Transport Fever 2, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think Urban Games have anything else in the pipeline currently at the moment. We've not had any patches or anything for this in quite some time. In fact, I think we've only had one since the game was released, and that was well over a year ago. So it'll be interesting to see what comes about. You can give the developers a break because obviously there's the pandemic. Lots of people are working from home. Obviously, for things that need vast computing power, working from home is not the best unless you've got the best of equipment at home. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't think there will be a Transport Fever 3, because really Transport Fever 2 is Transport Fever 1 with better graphics and some other sort of key game mechanics added in. Some of them which I'm not a fan of. The pollution, not really interested in pollution. The traffic one is kind of interesting, although it sort of goes the way of Transport Fever 1 of old and City Skylines, where ridiculous traffic jams just occur on a regular basis and there ain't really much you can actually do about it. So I suppose creating lots of one-way streets in cities, etc. It shouldn't be a city builder, it should just be purely the transportation of passengers and goods. It's about the vehicles, this game for me. The trains, the boats, the planes, trucks, buses, trams. That's what makes this game interesting for me, and the extreme variety that we've now got due to modding. But hey ho, so we'll see how that gets on. I mean, I'm almost finished Skyhaven as well. Obviously that's an early build of Skyhaven. I did have an issue in the last episode because there's no way for me to direct planes down taxiways that I want them to go. They just it's sort of a free-for-all. It can get really messy, and I'm going to try and fix that. But there's only maybe 2 or 3 episodes of that left to go, and then we will reach the point where the developers are at just now, and then we'll keep an eye on it to see if there's more stuff coming. I will be reintegrating the Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We'll get Modded Republic back. I did have an issue with a few mods when the new patch went out. I seem to have whittled out ones that were an issue. Some of them have actually been fixed since, which is really nice. And everything works good. And what is going on here? Why are you on the wrong track? Oh, you're moving track. Perfect. There we go though, there's the opposite number. The other direct rail services train. So we've got a nice little jaunt along the coast. And then we'll be into Manchester. Maybe, depending how busy this line in front of us is. I would imagine it is going to be fairly busy. There we go, there's the DVT. Off we go again. So these trains that look like crossover, which is odd. But they don't stop each other or they don't get in each other's way, so I'm happy to leave it as such. Oh well, there's another train, and it's on the opposite side of the track, so that's good. That means it can't hinder us on our future journey. It's a Great Western Railways train. Still a little commuter train. There's another one, looks like an Arriva number. Now where's that going? I think that's maybe going to Wrexham. There we go, you're free to move on. Yep, Arriva Trains, Wales. I quite like that livery. I like that colour of sort of turquoisey colour. It's nice. Looks like we've actually got a clear shot in front of us, which is nice. So yeah, Skyhaven, almost done. We'll be reintegrating Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. We'll be continuing on with Anno. We'll finish off in the Arctic. We'll get Crown Falls finished off, and then we will be going over to the Land of Lions for the new DLC. And then I think we'll probably be done with Anno at that stage. Because there is, I think they're bringing out a few little packs here and there. I'm not sure if there's any more large DLC content. I know that there are mod creators which are creating a whole new faction and map that was supposed to be coming out sometime this year. So it was going to do like an Asian map, and there were going to be new ships and new mechanics to the game, new storyline, which looked really interesting. It's really cool that modders have the ability to do that. It's basically like a whole new DLC. So that looks really cool. And when that comes out, see how it gets on. There might be some teething issues at the start, and then I think we'll give that a go. Because Anno is actually a great game. It's a beautiful game as well. It's very well made. There are a few bugs here and there. There's a few mods here and there as well, which are nice, which can turn like a really hard as nails playthrough slightly more easier. Some of the mods I do feel are a bit OP, that make things just too easy, but it's great for doing a sort of free build sandbox mode, which is magical. Look at that bear, look at that fox. Whoa, fox parkour. Now we're getting the old mega lag back again, because we are near Manchester, and Manchester I think is the second biggest city on the map. So that's an issue. There is a trick, a content creator trick for Transport Fever 2, where if you're doing stuff like this, right, so you're following trains or watching trains, or maybe you've got the camera set up at a specific intersection where there's a lot of traffic, or a specific station entrance or exit, and you just want to focus on those vehicles and have nice frame rate. And the way to do that is, so you save the game, you delete a few cities or a few routes from the map. Normally cities, large cities with large amounts of AI take up like the most memory, so deleting them will free up memory and frames. And what you do is you get your segment so it looks all nice, and then you re-upload it, you reload the save so that the cities are still there, and then you you can go and delete another part to maybe do another line, etc., etc. So that takes time though, and it's super annoying. But yeah, that is one way you can get really steady frame rates for doing stuff like this. I mean, we're nowhere near Scotland, so before this recording, I could have went up to Scotland, deleted all the cities up there, all the lines, freed up a bunch of CPU usage and memory, and then we probably would have gotten better frames for the last two journeys. But that is kind of a nightmare. I did actually do it in Transport Fever 1 when I did the Transport Fever like around the world map that had the two halves of a map. One side was the USA and Canada, and the other side was like Russia and Europe. I did do it for that. When I was playing the European Russian side, the American side was all deleted. It was all removed. And then when I was doing the USA side, the European and Russian side, all the cities were deleted. And it allowed me to continue the game, really, continue creating content, because it was nowhere near as laggy. Half the cities were gone, it was so much more easier. But now we're stuck behind this train here. Now Manchester is a busy city, so I did expect to get stuck eventually. I don't know how long we're going to be stuck for. I do see that Freightliner BP train creeping up in the distance. But yeah, I'm sort of hoping that when I do the next series, that the sort of computing power we'll have on the new rig with the 5900X and the 3080, the RAM I've got, I'm going to have to tune the RAM timings, do a bit of overclocking, etc. But I'm kind of hoping that even if I was playing a map like this, in this current state, with all the cities, all the lines, that it at least has to be better. I mean, it's currently an i7 7700K. You can probably hear the liquid cooler in the background. The 7700K gets super hot at max usage. We're basically having max usage right now. The 1080 only really sees about 50-60% usage. For some reason, even though this game looks really pretty, it's not massively graphics intensive. It's more memory usage and CPU usage. The computer is trying to remember everything that is happening on this map. All those vehicles at the side there, all these trains, all the planes, all the people that are walking about around the cities. All of them have specific places they want to go or have come from, and jobs they need to do, and the game is just constantly trying to figure all that stuff out as time goes by, and the more and more you add to it, the more and more it suffers. So I'm kind of hoping with the new rig it's going to be at least somewhat better. What I'd love to do is build the new rig, port all the mods over that we're currently using now, port the save over, fire it up and see what it looks like. Compare the two of them, old rig, new rig, see what it looks like, and then straight off the bat I would know what sort of performance issues I might run into, or how it's going to look later on in game. Do I need to put less cities on the map? Can I put more cities on the map? Etc. Using a megalomaniac size map, or just a very large or extremely large, or whatever they call large, I can't remember because it's only sort of megalomaniac maps I sort of use. But I would love to be able to test that out. I'd love a site like the Gamers Nexus, who do lots and lots of computer component testing. I would love for... They always do benchmark testings, and their thing that is really closest to Transport Fever is Total War 3 Kingdoms. That's what they sort of use to benchmark like something like this. And I'd love someone to say, hey, Get Transport Fever 2, fire 500 mods in it, stick 47 cities on a Megalomania sized map, add like 1,000 lines and 10,000 vehicles, and then do a benchmark test and see what frames you get with the latest GPUs, CPUs, RAM, etc. That would be a true benchmarking test, I think. Now we're into January of 2018, so we've got 3 years, right, to go before we get up to 2021. So I need to find another line to jump on. Maybe just a couple of smaller lines here and there. I mean, we've basically just done this route that this train is on. Maybe if we could get the electric train. Yeah. Perfect. Hello. Push play. Are you arriving or leaving? You're arriving. Excellent. So, into Birmingham Station. Hello there, Virgin Cross Country. That just came out of nowhere. Ooh, you need to clean your windows, my friend. Why is this so laggy? Zoom out. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. There we go. Direct rail services. 934. Ooh, and we've jumped straight on to the DVT. Now, the exit to this area is kind of weird, as you'll see. Like, in the new series, stuff like this. See this branching out in a double line, going down a hill, round a corner. Things like that probably won't happen in the new series, because it doesn't really happen in real life. Normally, most train stations' entries and exits are fairly flat. For reasons, there's often lots of trains, carriages, multiple units, freight wagons, freight locos that often sit just outside or near train stations. Those trains have to live somewhere, and depending on which city they're operating out of, if there's no really massive depot, then they just sort of sit at the side, exposed to the elements, waiting for their next job or waiting for maintenance and then to go out again. So I would like to integrate something like that into the new series, but not at the point where it's super high detailing. I love watching the guys. It's mostly Germans that do high detailing. And even though I can't understand a word they're saying, I'd love just watching them doing the high detailing, and then they jump on the trains and they go around the line that they've just built with all the details, and it looks absolutely amazing. I would love to have the patience to do that, but it is a key factor, patience and time. So most of them do time lapses, and it's like 3, 4, 5 hours of work, or 6 or 8 hours of work to create one line, create all the foliage, the sort of assets, fences, cars, buildings, industries that go around it, and it's pretty amazing. But I like to showcase vehicles, and I like to get vehicles out on lines with different liveries, etc. And you could absolutely do that with high detailing. I suppose it would make sense to do that because you're really looking for or trying to create a real world, or as close to real life as you can get. But it's massively time consuming. So it's something I'd probably never be able to do, or it might actually be something I might do. I might do, like I was speaking to Stephen Barnett the other day. He left a comment, so he's got like a 2-city map, and he's done like high detailing on it. Now, like a 2-city map, and that is perfect for high detailing. So getting everything sort of as you want. You could maybe even figure out the scale for it. What if you've edited the map and re-uploaded the map on your own. So that's pretty cool, and the map he's done sounds really cool as well. But a small 2-city map is perfect for high detailing. So I might do a tiny series, and then I'll do a little. It might even be a practice run. So for high detailing, because it's not something I've really endeavoured in, and it's something I would like to get good at, and it was something I would like to be able to implement sort of faster, because it takes me ages lining up buildings and walls and stuff. I just don't have the eye or the patience for it. I get frustrated quite easily. Even when I was doing I actually tried to build the border wall that I've got in Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. The border between the NATO side and the Russia side, where I've got NATO buildings and vehicles on one side and the Russian stuff on the other side. I tried to build the walls for that, and obviously because the terrain is not flat, etc., it was a nightmare. It took like 2.5 hours, and I zoomed out on the map and I was like, I must be at least halfway there, and I wasn't even a quarter of the way there. And some of the areas that I had built due to terrain and stuff just looked absolutely hideous, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna lose my mind if I keep going like this. So I just abandoned that and went back to rebuilding the map as it was. There are a few changes as well that I've made to the Workers and Republic Workers and Resources Soviet Republic map. There's a few things I've changed out because I wasn't really happy with them. It didn't really have the effect that I was looking for. But before we get the next episode up, I'll do a recap. I'll go around and go around the map and show everyone everything I've changed before starting the next episode. And that was something I was worried about as well. Obviously I went to the Workers and Resources. It's going to be a long series. There's lots and lots of cities and industries we can implement and build. We've now got aircraft in the game, which look amazing, and there are so many aircraft mods already. I think even like 2 days after the patch went live, there were like something 13 aircraft in Steam Workshop just ready to rock and roll, and it was pretty cool. So that's a series that's going to take a long time, and I had to sort of decide, well, I've got so much mods installed. Do I want to start that on the new rig, which again is still not even finished yet? Or do I want to start it in the old rig and then go through the pain of getting every mod reinstalled, hoping the save game works, etc. on the new rig? But it is something that I could play because I'm happy to keep that series at 1080p. And then play it on the old rig, do the rendering on the old rig and get it set up. So there should be no issues with that. I'm looking forward to getting back to the old Soviet Republic. It's a great game. There's lots and lots of stuff you can do, even in the base vanilla game, and they're still not even finished it yet. Some of the mechanics are really good. I've not run into... I know people that have run into quite a few bugs, and I've not really run into anything that's been super bad. It's worked perfectly. It is very unforgiving, I will say. It is an unforgiving game, especially if you screw up heat or electricity, or there's no food, etc. The game will turn on you, but my god, it's a really good game. I'm looking forward to watching its progress, playing it, and seeing what the final iteration of the game is going to be. So, as far as city builders go, right now I would say that Workers and Resources Soviet Republic is probably number one for me in that list. I did play City Skylines back in the day, many days and hours spent playing that. That was a great game as well. But I feel now that City Skylines is basically, it's always the same game. But then new DLC comes out for it. The Green Pack, the Industries Pack, the Trains and Vehicles Pack. And I was like, oh, this is great, but I suppose the game is that well made that there's no point making a new one. Just adding new stuff to it is fine for them. It's a great business model because you don't have to go through the expense of redeveloping an entirely new game. And like Transport Fever and Transport Fever 2, the only really thing you're going to be able to do, because the mechanics will probably stay the same, they're pretty good, is up the graphics a bit more and maybe introduce one or two new mechanics. There's not much room for improvement in City Skylines as far as I'm concerned. But yes, we have made it. We're into December 2018. Right, jumped onto 3 trains, 3 of our new trains, the direct rail services numbers. I was going to jump on this long one that goes from Wales to London, but we shall leave that. I mean, we're pretty much in 2019, so let's go at 1. Oh Jesus, it jumped to 2022. In fact, let's jump to 2025. Just in case. There's some cool hull trains there. Right, let's push pause. And let's find depots and stuff and see what we got. Right, I know over here at Bristol there is both a train depot and road depot. There we go. Katie Wood in our van is holding up the entire district of Bristol, the city of Bristol. Right, let's start with the road vehicles. Ooh, these are new. The Nikola E truck. So these are electric trucks and they look very cool. US Express. That's cool. So these are both. This mod was inspired by the E-truck with a combined drive based on batteries and fuel cells. Very cool. 10 variants, I'm pretty sure these are still the same 10 variants. There might be some more of these, who knows. There's even more liveries for the Olympian, the Leyland Olympian in the workshop. I've not downloaded them yet because doing bus micromanagement is I'm beyond that now. The game is so laggy and I don't want to rush through the episodes. I want to sort of plan things out and do things correctly, but adding more strain to an already strained game is not the future. This Poppy special wrap is pretty cool. There we go. So which are these, the Hong Kong ones? Yeah, lots of Hong Kong. There is a standard one, Enviro 500 MC, so you could probably use that. The Hess Scania, there's a Enviro 400, Airlink. Yeah, these are cool. B8L. To celebrate the 100-year anniversary of Lothian, is introduced to UK. That's cool. The E-Citaro. Right, let's go back to cargo. There's the Urban E-Truck. I don't think there's... These are cool. I've always wanted to use these. I will at some point. Not in this series, but in the next series. This car transporter, pretty cool as well. 12 variants. These are pretty much the same. And these ones up here are new. Okay, so 2026. Okay, it's because I've not paused the date speed. So let's do that. Right, actually, what we'll do is, right, so nothing came on the go in 2025, nothing in 2024, nothing in 2023, 2022. There were some new trains that are supposed to be arriving in 2022. Okay, so we'll keep it at 2022. Let's go and look at the trains. actually. I've no idea if they're new aircraft or boats. So these are all the same. These have not changed. The 19 variants of the Class 381. Yeah, so these are new. The Avantis, they are definitely new. Because this was previously the bottom of the list. 9 of them. Yep, Cross Country was the bottom of that list. In fact, I'm making life difficult. 55. I think there was previously 55. Yeah, they're all still the same. 7 variants of that. Electric Blue. This is new. From 1961. I might have just recently downloaded that or added that mod, but they're still the same. 36 variants. Class 9E. Freightliner G&W. This is Australian, right? This Freightliner G&W. I'm going to look that up. I'm pretty sure G&W is Australian. In here, the Euro Phoenix. That's really cool. We're starting to get more LNER stuff, which is nice. Get Up North with a sort of epileptic moving seizure on the side of it. And lots of Virgin stuff. Flying Scotsman. That's pretty cool. Right. Okay. Diesels. Guaranteed to always be a new diesel. Right, the class. This DB Schenker is new. Freightliner liveries. Yeah, Freightliner G&W. Ocean Network Express is one we can. Never seen that before. Description, no description. Okay. 124 liveries of this thing. There we go. London Transport Museum. That's pretty cool. Green and yellow warning panels. BR green. HNRC. BR blue. Okay. See, this one has a 2 on it. I did see the other day there was a screenshot. This one's got 2. Okay, so Hope Cement Works 2. There should be a Hope Cement Works 1. Maybe. So it was used for moving cement. Okay. The Euro Phoenix, still the last one in there. It looks like. Got some coalless rail. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Class 37s. The Peaks are still on the go. They should be in a museum by now, one would imagine. And these are all still the same. Right, HST power cars. Go down to the bottom. Still the same old, same old. I did get Hull Trains liveried coaches. I don't know if I added them. I'll have to check. But I definitely did. I saw them. Someone put them up in the workshop a few days ago. They look really good. They're perfect match to the Class 43. I think this is 22 variants of it. Yeah, the Euro Phoenix. 12 variants of this. This Transport for Wales and coalless rail freight are new. There's 15 variants of this now. So we've got a couple of Trans Pennine, Plain Blue, ScotRail, Chiltern Railways, TRS. So we've got 2 direct rail services. Interesting. Trans Pennine. Class 68, British Rail sectors. Looks like we've got some regional rails in there, some greys and plain blues, some intercities as well. Intercity. ScotRail. Cool. Passengers. Wait, what is that? Move that along, because it's easier to tell with the pictures what is new. There's the Caledonian Sleeper, Cartridges and Wagons. DVT, Arriva Trains, Wales, unbranded. Arriva Trains Wales, unbranded. So can I actually make proper sleeper variants now? Who knows? These are the 250s, but I think there should be some more liveries in here. We should have there's the Grand Centrals, which are cool. Grand Central driving van with trailer. VTEC LNER. Is there no more LNERs? Are these the only ones? Checking here. There's the Pretendolinos. Huh. So those are the only LNERs. Okay. Go to cargo, because I did download a few new mods. There might be something new. No, it's all still the same. Tank wagon. Electric multiple units. Right, we were looking at these. The 250s, there is an LNER version of this now in Steam Workshop that you can add to that collection. The Eurostars, I might change one of those up in the next episode. This is still 96. These trams are nice. The Hitachi Grand Central, oh that's cool. Mark IV with carriages. Someone got 2 carriages though. Greater Anglia, NHS. Right, I think this. Yeah. LNER Coronation. I think we've seen these. I don't think these are new. Maybe that one is, and these ones. Intercity, Transpennine, LNER, Hull Trains, Avanti, East Midlands Railway. So I think they are perhaps maybe new. I want to see if there's any new Class 43s. It doesn't look like it. So that's that thing again, but it's classed as like a diesel, so you'd have to be careful which one you're actually picking. Right, everything else looks to be the same. Okay, right. Come out of there. Let's find an airport that actually has a hangar. Now I would like sort of better ships as well. You're sort of stuck with the river boats and the sort of barges with the tugboats to push them, which is really cool, but I would like actual decent seafaring vessels, which I don't think is massively too much to ask. Now I'll be able to tell straight away if anything in here is new. Some of these might be. That's very cool. The Dammon Ferry. It reminds me of the Sea Cat. Is insusceptible to rough seas and is powered by what? This type of ship has an aluminium hull. Is insusceptible high seas. There's no ship out there that is insusceptible to high seas. I can assure you that. Right. I'm looking for a... Oh, right. There is one in Cali. Okay, go to there. Right, so buy vehicles. Let's go with passengers first. Now, I'll scroll it along because it's easier for me to identify what's new. There's now 16 variants of this. ANA, Delta, Japan Airlines, LOT, United. Okay. Cathay Pacific, Air France, Molinair, British Airways, Air New Zealand, Air France. So there's definitely new stuff in here. Air France, Delta. Western Express, that's American. It's just a standard Airbus. 5 variants, yeah, remember these. The A320 pack, pretty cool. So this is like the Sukhoi Tupolev Tu-24. These Star Alliance liveries. The Embraer Seems like more of an American thing. I don't think, or I can't remember ever seeing one of these at an airport in the UK. There probably is, but I just can't remember a time I've ever seen one. Go TUI. So I say no Thomas Cook or Flybe liveries in here. Even though they've kind of gone bust now, it would still be cool to see them. That CS300 it's pretty cool. We'll check the old cargo, but I think this should all roughly be the same. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, right, there you have it. Some new stuff. We shall jump on board with our Eurostar, if it is actually there. There it is. Yep, so that's going to be it for this episode. Episode 210 is now done. 10 more episodes, bringing us up to 2022, using some of the vehicles. We'll see what we can do. Obviously, log freight is going to be murder, but we shall leave it there for that episode. As always, if you did watch this and you would like to leave a like, comment, or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there's more you'd like to see in the future, then hit the subscribe button. I've been Danny Boy. This has been Transport Fever 2 on the UK map, and I will catch you later.